An OG from the very beginning of Medarot back in 1997, well loved by the anime community and very likely a Medarot fan's first ever robo waifu. It is MAR00, your Mermaid, with a kit of all repair, double repair, sea legs, and the leg ability of Fix Plus, which buffs the heat stats of the user when using a healing skill. Now, Pure Mermaid is a model that we've actually seen in the game a pretty fair number of times now, but has been locked behind the enemy NPC banner and curse, which means all we've been able to do is really just see her and acknowledge that she's there and in-game, but really not anything more than that. Now, at long last, she is now available as a limited time event reward at time of recording, with the event incoming as a model that anyone can collect decently easy as well for participation. And when it comes to her kit, she really hasn't changed much from the early days either, and those that have seen her as an enemy NPC kind of already expect she's just going to be kind of there and nothing more. All repair on the head part is basically just simple repair, but she will apply a level of healing to herself and all allies on the team, essentially picking a part at random relative to how damaged the targeted part is. So even though it may not be super consistent with the form of HP restoration, it does mean that she can hit all of her allies at once and kind of keep them covered from there. Repair on both arms is just basically just your regular plain old healing skill that you can use pretty much anywhere, and both that and all repairs level of efficiency and amount of healing you get back is of course tied to the mastery of the healing mastery on the medal. So the higher that mastery, of course that means the more HP you're going to get back upon using it. Sea legs also means that she will have moderately decent coverage across most terrains, as sea legs tend to typically stick around the lower tier range when it comes to terrain mastery, but instead tend to have a very high emphasis on evade, and that is most certainly no exception here, with her evade sitting about 1712. But I do have to say though, as squishy as she is in the armor department and her leg stats, she's not too shabby either, especially in certain stats. And a mobility of 584, just shy of 600, is kind of expected for sea legs, so kind of in that middle ground of what you'd expect. Not really anything more or less at that point, so just kind of a balanced performance. But given the fact that she has a melee resist over 1000 and a shoot resist also at over 1000, she's actually not too bad. She can hold her own moderately well between both incoming shooting and melee attacks without either crippling her too easily. And as long as nothing breaks on her, she can effectively restore back that lost HP decently quickly, as long as she has a defender or a counter that can cover for her while she does so. Plus, having the leg ability of Fix Plus does mean that she will be able to heal faster than she would on any other terrain, as she will get a passive boost to her heat stat for pretty much any time she uses any of her skills, since, well, they're all healing skills. In the armor department, again, she is moderately squishy though, with a head HP of about 3100, arms about 2350 each, and the legs at 3550. Not terrible, like I said, but do exercise caution and make sure that she doesn't get hammered too hard if you do choose to make use of Pure Mermaid on the field. That being said though, as a pure set score, I still do unfortunately have to rate Pure Mermaid a pretty flat 4.5 out of 10, given the fact that even though she is moderately okay and decent in the stats across the board, leg stats aren't too shabby, and her healing, heat, and cool stats aren't pretty solid as well. And it does synergize with itself. In addition to this, the fact that she can only restore lost HP kind of makes her a one-trick pony, or sea pony in this case, I suppose, because if the enemy manages to break something, that effectively makes her useless, because she can't restore lost parts. She can only restore lost HP, which means you do kind of have to make use of a secondary healer or somebody that's making use of somebody to restore lost parts so she can do her job. However, if you, as mixed parts though, I do have to rate her just a little bit higher at about a 5.5 out of 10. Given that, even though as a healing based and a very healing dominant bot, she can do her job decently well, if you were to mix the parts up across her build, such as say, replacing one of her arms with all restore, or a head with first aid, or something that can really change up and give her more versatility and viability as a healer, then you can really start cooking, and you add to more viability that this mermaid can bring to a team as your dedicated healer. And this especially is the case on aquatic terrains where most other leg types will struggle. she will excel.